Has Stranger Things been broken and never to return? That's what many fans are saying as they feel burned. Now, the entire series, after the last episode, ranked as rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics, however, the Access media, furious, declaring it's The Last Jedi all over again, review bombing. Folks will tell you, no, it's robbing the fans of what they always wanted to see. Hello, friends. Hello, fam. Welcome back yet again. It is a beautiful day coming to you from somewhere sunny USA. The studio is glistening because you're listening to what we have to say. And yes, as it is every time, a video of excellence. Click the like button, drop a comment down below. Folks, here we go, go. Stranger Things suddenly feeling more than a little upside down. Stranger Things is not having a good time. It may be so damaged that it's ruined this time. Stranger Things Season 5 reviews tank as the audience score falls into rotten territory. Oh no! This by Marvin Montanaro. That Park Place's website. If you're not yet bookmarked, well, you should be. And ladies and gentlemen, you might not believe it, you might not know it, but we're here to show it to you. This actually could very badly damage the movie theaters. They were depending on this to come in and save the day for at least 48 hours. The Rotten Tomatoes Stranger Things 5 audience reviews are painting a picture Netflix likely hoped to avoid. While critics have largely remained on board with the show's direction, general audiences are signaling something very different and increasingly so by the day. As of this writing, Season 5 of Stranger Things sits at 84% on Rotten Tomatoes Tomatometer. Of course, we all know it just doesn't matter. But the audience score has dropped to 56% with 5,000 plus ratings, placing it firmly in rotten territory. That number matters not just because of where it landed, but because of how quickly it crashed. According to publicly visible data and recent coverage, the audience score has continued to fall in the days following major media attention, including a widely circulated Forbes breakdown of the backlash. The decline has reignited a now familiar argument. Are audiences offering legitimate criticism, or is this another case of so-called review bombing? This is what I believe is called the Last Jedi defense. We'll start there. This idea that anytime something gets negative reviews, especially if it has to do with those virtue signaling issues, well, they call it review bombing. Review bombed equals poorly made, I say. Once you learn to speak Hollywoodese, it just becomes totally clear. Variety claiming Stranger Things 5 has been review bombed. Following the release of episode 7, The Bridge, which includes a scene where Will Byers comes out as, to his friends. The only problem is that had already been done in the show with Robin. And everybody's known since the first season that this kid probably was this thing, which was always really weird because it started when he was just a little lad. And guess what else, folks? The actor who portrayed the little lad as a little lad turned out to be real glad too. And that means it's just a little bit strange, even for Stranger Things. This audience score down at 56%. They're saying it's a review bomb. Real life fake wizard, a.k.a. real fake father time. Tell us, is Stranger Things in trouble this time? Is this recoverable, as this was the penultimate episode? Clearly, it's in Last Jedi territory.
We are in Last Jedi territory. We are seeing major comparisons right now between Game of Thrones Season 8 and The Rise of Skywalker. It is fascinating to see it play out. They are in such deep trouble. They've got to nail this finale, or Netflix is, I don't know how they're going to do any kind of follow-up. There's rumors of an animated show coming soon that takes place between seasons 2 and 3. No one is going to come back to watch that if they can't stick this landing. To take it from a different perspective, there's a Broadway show for Stranger Things happening right now. If this season finale tanks, no one's going to even want to see this show. That's how badly episodes 5, 6, and 7 carried with audiences here. We are not in a good place right now. The finale has to land with audiences, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it because everyone, even the people that wouldn't have been critical about this before, are extremely critical now, and they're going into this finale. Normal folks who might not have been as critical are going into this finale with a fine-tooth comb. They are going to be critical about everything because so far this season is bland.
It's bland, and the other thing, too, is it's not just about the Will Byers thing. That's the easiest way to pin this thing. But look, Nancy Wheeler, the actress here, is about 5 feet tall and might weigh 90 pounds. She's Rambo now. And the relationship between her and another character, everybody was waiting to find out what would happen. They happily, out of the blue, broke up, but in a happy way, and unproposed to one another. And people are like, what the crap is this? What is going on with Stranger Things? This is the worst time for it to land with a thud. I have never heard anyone complain like this about Stranger Things ever in any season whatsoever. We are at the point now where people are saying this is like Fonzie jumping the shark. It's become a cartoon of itself. Culture, that's a dark place for it to be because in order for this to win, people have to take it seriously. I don't think anyone is going into the finale now taking this show seriously whatsoever.
I did a video on this myself, and I stripped it from 3 different articles, not just the great stuff that was written by the folks over at That Park Place. I'm just going to say it this way. This was poorly conceived at a time when it was very clear that the audience and the sentiment, the public sentiment around these types of message shows and this particular message that was being delivered is not going to land well. This instead elected to head right into the storm and create absolute chaos in a situation where these two guys, the Duffer brothers, need a soft landing because they're going into a 4-year deal with Paramount that I think they may have just Harry carried.
Well, the problem for them is Netflix wants this property to be popular, not because we're going to get season 6, but because they need to do spinoffs. They need Dusty Buns and like animated stuff. But this is so unpopular, they are tanking it. And I know why. And I want to show everybody why, because there are those who want to distill this into something very simple that they can use to drive hate clicks.
Sure.
Just like Variety is doing, right?
Sure.
It's because people are phobic. No. The market is far smarter than that. And this is not review bombing. This is legitimate people disliking something. Take a look at this so I can show you. This is Stranger Things Season 1. Stranger Things Season 1 features a normal, although perhaps, what should we say? A character who is trying to grow out of weakness. And in one of the major scenes, she's holding a firearm aimed at a baddie, and she's defending herself. And that's a big deal. By season 5, we are no longer in the same universe whatsoever. She has literally become Rambo. This is not the same universe. These are not the same characters, right? This has become a cartoon. Lauren, you know something about this. You know what happens to franchises when they become, what would you say, parodies of themselves. And this is where Stranger Things has gone to. I don't know how they managed this because all they had to do was finish it out with something deeply emotional and satisfying. And they had this figured out for 4 seasons. You can disagree about which one's better or worse, but this is like somebody came by. It's like they were painting with oil and somebody was debating, which season was better when they did the oil paintings or the watercolor or, it was when they did the acrylic. And here they came in for season 5, the big finale, with like jumbo crayons, not the good kind, not Crayola, but we're talking about from a restaurant. The kids menu, the one that breaks the second you touch it or look at it. Lauren, why? Why do franchises do this to themselves?
Well, I've got a theory. I have not watched this latest season of Stranger Things.
You shouldn't.
I'm a little bit behind. I felt that it was beginning to jump the shark on the last season from however many years ago it was now. It was starting to lose me then. I have loved the show, and so I hate to hear that it's doing the way it is. But at the same time, I'm also overjoyed to hear that it's doing it the way that it is, because I think we do need another big, massive failure to just drive home that we're not going to be accepting this anymore. And And my guess as to why it's happening is the same reason that these kind of things happen to J.J. Abrams. You come up with a great concept, but you don't have a great resolution. And so when you don't have a great resolution, what you have to do instead is create a bunch of other dust that gets kicked up into the air to make people talk about it, as you said, to gin up controversy, and try and obfuscate the fact that you didn't really have a satisfying concept fully developed. And on another point, when it comes to review bombing, I'll be willing to acknowledge review bombing just as soon as they're willing to acknowledge bot boosting. If they're willing to do that, maybe we can come to some kind of an agreement.
There you go.
Not going to do that. Hey, Lou, take a look at this from Ollie London. Sorry, oil in the brain at the moment. Ollie London says, Netflix Stranger Things episode featuring a coming out scene rated worst episode ever by fans. The episode, which features Will Byers crying while declaring, "I don't like girls," has been rated the worst ever by fans on IMDb following woke backlash. Score has a 5.4 for the episode. That's with 96,000 plus user ratings. And the backlash has dropped the series, ladies and gentlemen, from 70% to 56%, aka Stranger Things as a series is now rated rotten. Lou, I have one more thing to throw to you, and then you're off to the races. Lou, it's not just that this is woke. It's not just that it's ham-fisted. It's not just that it's narratively out of place. It's not just that they've cartoonized the characters. It's also that this guy, in this moment, flat out can't act. And there's no greater sin than that, is there, Lou?
That is a problem. But let me preface this by saying I've never seen the show. I don't know much about it. But you have to think of the residual effect. If they were having a so-so bordering on boring season anyway, an aimless one, which apparently is the case, and then they throw this in, what is this, 1 or 2 episodes before the finale? It's not a question of, well, okay, how many people who, unlike rabid fans, watch it the moment it releases, get around to it a week or 2 later because they kind of like it, but they got real lives to live. And when they hear about this, it isn't a question of will they like or dislike the finale. It's will they bother to watch it? Will they say, heck, it was going nowhere anyway, and now they did this, I'm done.
Well, the problem is they will watch it. I believe that people will watch it, but they might not go to the cinemas to see it, but they will watch it at home because there's no cost. I think they'll do that because they've got, 7-8 years invested in this? Lou, the problem is Netflix needs to spin this off into other stuff. They need an animated retelling of it, all that kind of thing.
Isn't going to happen.
Really hard to see that happening now. That's how badly this is playing.
And they should have thought of that primarily. Instead, what they thought of was, well, what can we do now? Well, I know. How about if so-and-so's gay? Or I know. How about if so-and-so turns into female Rambo? It's like one of these, you can have all kinds of what ifs in a writer's room, but that doesn't mean they all deserve to happen. But if you're,
that's right.
if you're bereft of other ideas, they do happen, because what else are we going to do?
To give people an idea of just how much of a fumble this is the most expensive TV season ever created. In terms of viewership, yeah, we can probably go find shows like Dallas that beat it out, but it's a big deal at a time when there are very few big deals left. This is akin to being in the Super Bowl and you're 1 yard away from the end zone with seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. You're about to win the game. You're about to have your moment. And you literally throw an interception in the end zone that they carry back 100 yards. That is where we are. Small snippet for you who don't know just how bad this guy is at acting, and they placed everything on him because of virtue.
I mean, I do, just not like you guys do.
Talking about girls. But maybe it's about acting too.
I've seen the description of this scene in particular, and it kind of hits home. You know, for a long time, we look at things in Christian media and Christian filmmaking, and while we love a lot of it, there is an effort that in the past things have been sometimes cringy, right?
I call it the altar call, Wiz. I call it the altar call. And the problem is you can't put the altar call in the middle.
But in the same essence that in the past, sometimes that can get a little cringy, right? It's not performed well. There's a level of fakeness to that presentation. That's how this scene is played out.
Yep.
The characterization of every character in that room is robbed away. You mean to tell me Murray, who is sarcastic about everything, is going to just nod along with a big smile on his face with Will coming out? That's not in character at all. It's not in character for any of them at all to just be okay with what's going on here.
And it's already happened. They already did it with Robin,
right.
so we already know the reaction.
Can I ask a question about this, not having seen it?
Go for it.
Because one of the ways that I felt that the show began to jump the shark in the previous season, spoilers for that if somebody hasn't seen it, I guess, I thought it was a mistake to personify the evil in the character of Vecna. And it feels to me like they're trying to build some type of an explicit tie between Vecna and Will here. Is that the case?
Well, sure.
Or-
Sure, that's definitely the case. What we don't know is how the final episode is going to go, because if it's just Vecna, then who cares? He's already been defeated. Who cares? If they're going to go with the Mind Flayer, that could be interesting if that's the big baddie at the end that they all got to face. Okay. But if it's going to be Vecna versus Will, who cares? It's actually kind of disturbing at this point, because what you're saying is that this guy did bad things to a little kid, and the little kid then has this, and it's like, this is so upside down, pun intended. This is so upside down in terms of like the messaging of the show. I don't even know what to do with it.
They're not escaping this.
This kid's been on the show for a while, right?
Oh, yeah, since the beginning. Since he was 9, 8?
So there is no excuse for them not to know he couldn't carry this weight.
Oh, he can't. Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
It's like, all right, you want to have somebody come out, swell, but pick somebody who can handle the work. But in other words, just because, we think it's a swell idea doesn't mean the actor can deliver. You got to play the team you got on the field.
All right, one more time, just so people can see, just so you can see. And we do this with trepidation because we have to be very careful with this. Very short snippet. Here you go. That's all you get. Sorry, folks.
I hope the next word out of his mouth is Batman.
No, the scene falls in the center, if not or near center of the episode. It's 12 minutes long. It took them an entire day, 12 hours to shoot this one scene. It was the hardest scene. It was the hardest scene for the guys to write ever.
Because he can't act. So they had to figure out, how do you write this for somebody who can't act? And the problem is, the scene exists so people understand the context of this review bombing my foot. The world is ending in this show, in this episode. Everyone is about to die. The world is about to be taken over by pure evil. This guy decides that's the time to hold a conference call in the office with the golden lights to say, hey, I don't like girls, which would be like Bruce Willis riding the asteroid into Earth and calling down to NASA right before it happens and saying, by the way, I'm wearing panties.
The thing it's good news. You don't like girls, there aren't going to be any in another 10 minutes.
Hey, look, you guys, I'm just going to say it this way. At least he didn't say, I'm going to be a mom.
Honestly, in kind of
a Game of Thrones joke.
Last of Us.
That's it.
In kind of a funny way, if this was really the most terrifying thing in the world that he could think of is coming out, then that is the perfect time to tell everybody else, because it's like, I got to get this off my chest because I'm never going to be able to do it again.
If they really legitimately spent almost $500 million in budget on these 8 episodes, boy, Netflix knows how to waste money.
Do you know what? And I'm being funny, but I'm also telling the truth here. Do you know what the natural reaction would have been from the characters in the 80s? Because they didn't understand.
This wouldn't have been at 12 minutes long. It would have been, everybody blowing it off, making fun of it, treating it sarcastically.
Given that this happens in the late 80s and this canonically, they would have been like, oh my gosh, do I have... And put another one in the can, folks. A video of excellence has been birthed into existence. and you were there to witness it. Thank you for participating. We hope you had a good time. Folks, it's a great time anytime we get to share time with you, and we mean it. The only thing additional we ask, on the way out the door, consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below, and oh, by the way, if you would be so kind, perhaps share this out on your favorite social media platforms. Folks, we've got all kinds of content coming your way. If you are interested in going even beyond all of that, well, there's a Pro Store, and you can always find those items directly below the video you're watching. The Pro Store, it's a cool place to check out for items that, well, definitely Disney and the rest are not going to sell you, but we're happy to do so. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.